I found these 30-year-old recordings of my high school band, and I'm going to preserve them forever using my Tascam 388 and Tascam DP-24. Keep watching if you want to know how. Hi retro enthusiasts. I was excited when I found two reel-to-reel recordings from my teen years, including some songs performed by my high school rock band. Now these tapes have been in a hot Texas garage for more than 20 years, so when I saw them I was excited but also a little nervous I wouldn't be able to get any sound off of them due to the extreme conditions they've been stored in for so long. Not only that, these tapes were recorded on a Pioneer RT-701 reel-to-reel, which I no longer have. However, I do have a Tascam 388. Both recorders use a 1/4-inch tape, so I threaded the tapes up on my 388 and I hope for the best. Not only was I blown away that the tape didn't crumble, but it still sounded great. I decided I needed to digitize these tapes right away and share the recordings with my high school bandmates. Here's how I did it. I went with my Tascam DP-24 SD to digitize the tapes because of how simple and easy it is to get going. While I do love modern computers and all the wonderful things software can do, when it comes to music and especially recording, I really enjoy that retro tactile experience. Because the Pioneer RT-701 is a two-sided 1/4-inch stereo recorder, I needed to figure out how to get sounds recorded on 2 tracks to play back on my 8-track Tascam. I got real lucky in that both the RT-701 and the Tascam 388 both record and play back at 3 3/4 inches per second. So I just need to figure out the track mapping. I began by putting the first tape in and bringing all the faders up and pressing play. I listened to the tape until I got some sound, then I began to bring the faders down that didn't have a strong audio signal. What I was left with was track 1 and track 6, presumably the left and right channels from the RT-701. While the Pioneer recorder is a stereo recorder, most all the recordings on the tape were recorded on an inexpensive single-room mic. If I remember correctly though, the mic was a realistic brand stereo mic, so there was some stereo imaging. However, on some tracks, one of the stereo channels were hot, while the other one was about half the volume. Because of that, I decided to take the signal off of the Tascam 388 mains and enable the mono option to get the strongest signal possible. One of the other challenges were the audio levels between takes could be drastically different. There were times I started the recorder and left it running long before and after a song completed, and I could faintly hear us goofing around in the background. I wanted to capture this, even though the audio levels of those sections were very low. The way I solved this was I took the main audio signal from the Tascam 388 and I ran it through my Golden Age Project Comp 2A compressor. This way I could bring the levels way up on the Tascam 388 to get those quieter sections without causing the digital signal to clip on my Tascam DP-24. I just love watching the Golden Age Project Comp 2A compressor work, and it sounds so smooth. Yeah, so I'm still ripping these tapes to digital over here. And so I've got one tape down, and I'm actually going back through this tape, and I'm recording the entire sides to one track file on the DP-24. And I'm doing this so that I could share this online with some friends and just listen to the whole tape end to end for historical purposes, whatever. But this time I'm using the Golden Age Comp 2A to bring up the real soft parts and to limit some of the really loud parts. And I'm hoping that will make it easier to hear the banter in between the songs, which is really interesting, at least to my friends. But I think it's working out pretty well. I put sort of a junk tape in there earlier. Well, I don't know if it's a junk tape, but it's a tape that actually came with this Tascam. Someone had recorded their band rehearsals on it. It's not particularly valuable to me. It might be to the gentleman who originally had this. Maybe I should look him up and get a file or something to him. But so I tested out the levels and everything with the Comp 2A in the line. So basically what I'm doing is I'm taking the tracks 1 and 6, which I believe represent the stereo tracks on the original Pioneer RT-701 for this side, and I'm sending them out mono because there was really no stereo separation when we were recording, so it didn't really matter. So we're getting a nice strong song here by sending them out mono, and I'm taking the mains out. Where are they? Just one of those right there. I'm running it into the Comp 2A, and of course that into the DP-24. So it's pretty good. The quality is pretty good, and I'm excited to share this with my friends so I can get some feedback from them and share some memories. After one side was recorded, I flipped the tape over and recorded the other side. Tracks 1 and 6 were still the correct sides on the flip side, so other than a small volume adjustment, no other changes were needed to digitize the other side of the tapes. Well into the second tape, I was digitizing, the tape snapped. At first I was horrified, but then realized it was just a 30-year-old tape splice that failed and I could easily fix it. So I watched a few videos on how to properly splice tapes, and I ordered a tape splicing kit. Once it showed up, I easily spliced the tape back together and I was back on track. Okay, it's not the prettiest splice, but it is done. I now have the cleanest possible digital copy of my 30-year-old reel-to-reel tapes. I backed up the SD card from the DP-24, and I'm still deciding if I'm going to do any more processing, like removing long blank spaces in between takes, applying equalization, compression, or normalize the tracks using the mastering tools offered by the DP-24. The good news is I don't have to rush to make any of these decisions, as I now have a digital copy that I can take my time with. So what do you think? Is there a better way to do what I was trying to do? Do you have any old analog recordings on cassette or reel-to-reel that you'd like to preserve as well? Post a comment below to share your ideas or experience doing the same thing. Thanks for checking out my video. If you like this content, click the like button, as this helps my channel grow. If you would like to see more videos about retro computers or retro music production, you can subscribe to the Retro Enthusiast channel and click the bell icon to be notified of any new content. If you would like to further support my channel, there's a link to my Patreon in the description below. I'm Matt with Retro Enthusiast. Until next time, take care.